Ladies, do you often say to yourself, I don't have enough time to work out? Well, today I'm going to give you 3 rules to help you prioritize your family, your fitness, and your career. These 3 rules have helped my clients consistently find balance so that they're able to lose at least 5 to 10 pounds each month while honoring their family time, their career aspirations, and ultimately living a high quality life. My name is Dr. Salako, and I have helped countless of women over the years lose weight and fall in love with their bodies. The tips that I'm going to provide you in this video are the things that they implemented to be able to find that balance, reach their weight loss goals, and keep the weight off. If you have a weight loss goal and you're struggling to see consistent results, you've came to the right channel. What I want you to do is hit that subscribe button and let's get into the video. Rule number 1, you must have a vision. Having a vision is the ultimate way to have clarity on where you are going. This will help you establish your why behind your goals. If you ever thought about it, at the beginning of the year, we all have this motivation and this encouragement to show up to the gym. And by the time February or March hits, the numbers start to die down. Next thing you know, middle of the year, the people who were excited to go to the gym in January aren't there come June and July. What happens? They've lost sight of their why. They've lost sight of that vision. Make a vision for yourself of who do I want to be 3 to 4 months down the line? Not just what you want to look like, but where are you going to shop? What are the types of foods that you're going to eat? What are some aspirations that you have when it comes to your career pursuits because you'll have more energy, or your financial gains because you'll be able to operate at a higher capacity because you have more energy? When you start to think of this why, you really need to start taking account how is it going to affect every aspect of your life, and not just make the vision for your weight loss goal of I want to look this way, I want to feel this way, I want to operate this way, I'm going to say no to these things. But what does that look like for your family? What is the vision for your family? What is the vision for how you all are going to interact? What are the things you are going to do? Where are the vacations you'll be able to go to? What are the restaurants that you all will eat at? What is the foods and how you guys will start to interact and operate when it comes for your lunch and your dinner, and how you're going to prioritize those things? When it comes to creating this vision, again, start to look at the different layers. When it comes to your career pursuits, what are some big tasks that we're going to try to aim for this year? How is that going to look when it comes to your schedule? Create your vision, make it plain, and then start to iron out the steps that are needed to getting to that vision so that we can reach the goal and keep it off. All right, so we're going to do a visualization practice. And what I want you to do is pause the video, grab a pen and paper, come back, and then we're going to start. Okay, ready? The first thing I want you to do, I want you to write down in detail, specific to your weight loss goals, who do you want to be in the next 6 months? While writing this, make sure to take account of all 5 senses. What is this person going to look like? What is this person going to sound like? What is they going to smell like? What are they going to feel like? So start to think of all the 5 senses when you're writing in detail who you're going to be in the next 6 months. Next up, I want you to write the emotions attached to that person. So how are you going to feel? Not only how you'll feel about yourself, but how are you going to feel about your interactions with others? How are others going to feel about their interactions with you? So in this second step, really start to tie into all the emotions of the person that you'll become. Step 3, this is where we got to start taking action. So now start writing out what are some actions that I need to take to get to this next step, to get to this person who's lost the weight, who has balance? What are some actions that need to happen? So start to write that out next. Now for the last step, I want you to expand your knowledge. Where do we need to go to make sure that we are going to reach this goal? Do we need to get assistance? Do we need to get help? Do we need to find a weight loss coach? Do we need to find someone to help us with our nutrition? Start to think of the ways where, okay, I have my action steps that I need to do, but do I need to pull someone in to keep me accountable? Start to think, how are we going to expand our research? How are we going to get the help that we need to allow us to reach the goal? Now, while you're creating this 4th step, if you're thinking to yourself, oh, I do need a weight loss coach. I do need someone to help me create a plan. I do need someone to help me keep accountable. I do need someone to help me navigate so that I can become that person. what I want you to do is go ahead and book a clarity call. On that clarity call, what I'll be able to do is take this visualization practice that you have done and help you establish the daily actions that are needed for us to reach the goals, for us to find that balance between our work, our life, our family, and be able to have a consistent strategic plan that we can implement every single day. If you are someone that needs help reaching their weight loss goals, you need structure, you need accountability, you're tired of feeling how you feel and you want to become this person that we've just envisioned, then what I want you to do is go ahead, book that clarity call, and I'd love to connect with you. Moving on to rule number 2, we started to touch on it already with vision. Establish a plan. Now, I want you to think of what are the long-term versus short-term goals and what are the actions needed to get to those. A lot of us are at point A where we have this 30, 40, 50 pound weight loss goal and we get fixated on the long term. We get fixated on the point Z where we've lost the weight and we're feeling better and we're looking better. And we just try to get there and we're trying to get there as quick as possible, but we don't look at the little steps that are necessary for us to get to point Z. Simple things that get us from point A to B. Point A, you're a person that doesn't work out at all. And now, in order for you to reach your goals, we have to implement some type of exercise. Typically what people do, they'll go from 0 to 5 workouts a week. And then by week 2, they're burnt out, they're stressed, they're overly sore, and they don't want to show up anymore for their workouts. Well, the steps from point A to B, okay, instead of doing 5 workouts a week, I'm going to do 2 workouts a week because it's more realistic. Going from 0 to 2. Oh, my diet. I'm not a person that typically eats healthy. Cool. From point A to B, what I'm going to do is add more fiber to my diet. So every meal that I eat now, I make sure to have some vegetables. I make sure to have some fruit as a snack instead of snacking on the high carbohydrate refined foods that I typically eat. Start thinking about the little action steps that are needed to getting you to your goal. Don't fixate so much on point Z because that is how you burn yourself out before you even get started. When setting this plan, we got to make sure we're willing to take accountability. You got to show up for yourself because we'll say, okay, I'm going to work out 3 times this week, or I'm going to work out after work. And then you don't do it. How many times have you set a date with yourself that you haven't shown up for? But don't let it be a work engagement or something for your friends. You are there and you are on time. You show up early. Why do we keep not showing up for ourselves? So we have to make sure that we are actually accountable. If you said you're going to do it, show up and make it happen because you're showing up in every other aspect. You're showing up for your family. You're showing up for your friends. You're showing up, but you have to make sure that you are consistently showing up for you. The same thing goes when we are trying to find the balance for our work and for the family. If I said I'm going to do something at a certain time, make sure you show up. If you say you're going to do something for your career and you're going to pursue that promotion or you're going to pursue new opportunities to expand your role at the job, be accountable to the things that you said. It may require us to get up a little early or go to bed a little earlier. It may require us to step into a next level of ourselves. And in order for us to do that, we must be accountable to ourselves so that we can make it happen. Simple ways to keep yourself accountable, put it on the calendar. If it's on the calendar, it's going to happen. Tell a friend about it. That way they can check in and see if it happens. Tell your spouse or your significant other about the goals and the things that you have set for yourself so that they can keep you accountable. Or get you a weight loss coach when it comes to specifically weight loss to help keep you accountable. That's what I do in our weight loss program. I check in on the ladies. I'm checking in at least 2 to 3 times a week to make sure that they are accountable to the goals that we set. If you said you're going to work out twice this week, I'm checking in to make sure you do. If you said you're going to increase your protein this week, I'm checking in to make sure you do. So if you're someone that needs that layer of accountability and you would love for me to check in on you and see, hey, X, Y, and Z, did you reach your goals this week? Did we get the many steps that we said we were going to do? Did we increase our water? Are you making adjustments to your diet based off of the plan that we set? If you need that level of accountability, click that info card popping up or check out the description and book yourself a clarity call so that we can start to talk about what accountability needs to look like for you. I have some ladies in our program who don't necessarily need all the bells and whistles where I'm checking in on them every week. Some ladies want to do it themselves and get check-ins periodically. So we have some ladies who get checked in on every other week because they're moving and grooving, they're reaching their goals. They want to find a way to do it sustainably where they can start to build that accountability for themselves. So for those ladies, we check in on them every other week rather than weekly, and they're crushing it. I want you to get to the point where you don't need someone to check in on you as much. But I totally understand some ladies need that in the beginning where, quote unquote, I need you all in my business so that I can reach the goal. The other thing that we often forget when we're making that plan is be open and be flexible. I'll be honest, that's one of the things I struggle with. I'm very schedule oriented. I'm a plan person. And when anything throws off that plan, it stresses me out. I don't do well with a lot of change quickly. And that's something that I'm personally working on. So I need to work on this point as well, of improving with flexibility and being flexible to our plan. Hey, maybe you were supposed to work out during the week on a Thursday, but work kept you a little later. Okay, that doesn't mean we're just not gonna work out for the whole week because we couldn't hit that Thursday. My Thursday workout will now happen on Saturday where I have more time. And what I was supposed to do on Saturday, maybe for work, I'll flip it because I took care of it on Thursday. So we have to be open with that flexibility. Hey, I was supposed to go to the gym this week, but my kids are sick. Okay, now kids are a priority this week, but we can find other ways to make sure we're honoring our health. You're gonna eat. I say it all the time, we still gotta eat. Whether you can't make it to the gym or not, you're gonna eat every day. So you might as well make strategic and smart decisions with your food habits and the things that we put in our body, because you're gonna eat regardless. All right, wrapping that up, stepping into point 3, setting boundaries. This is the hardest one for most people, is saying no. Sometimes it's saying no to ourselves, and we often struggle with that. Saying no to the sweets that we want, saying no to staying up late at night so that we can wake up early and get our workout in, saying no to the work engagement or the family engagement or the friend engagement so that we can honor the goals that we set. I was listening to one of my pastors the other day, and he was talking about how we go about loyalty. Like, if I was to ask you right now, are you a loyal person? Most of us would say yes, we are. We're very loyal. But what if I told you you have moments where you are unloyal? You probably are thinking to yourself, that's not me. Well, you've been unloyal to yourself at times. You are loyal to others, but that causes you to be unloyal to you. You've set out goals for yourself. You set out things that you are trying to achieve this year, but you haven't, because you haven't consistently shown up to yourself. So you've been unloyal to you. You've been unloyal to this weight loss goal. You've been unloyal to making changes to your diet. You've been unloyal at showing up. So now what I want you to do is take some of that energy and that loyalty that you give others and start to put it to yourself. I need you to start prioritizing you. I need you to start prioritizing your health. I need you to start creating space and making opportunities where you can improve your health so that it trickles into the other things. Imagine how much better your relationship would be if you had more energy and if you loved the skin that you were in. Imagine how your intimacy with your spouse would be. Imagine how you would step up into the world or into your career if you had more energy, loved the clothes that you were wearing, and walked with that level of boldness that I know you're yearning for. It's possible, but we need to first be loyal to ourselves and establish those boundaries. If I have something on the calendar, I'm going to honor that. Whether it's something for family, something for the career, something to work on your weight loss goals, if it's on the calendar, honor it. You have to start setting boundaries around the things that are keeping you from getting to your goals. And when we set these boundaries, we need to adequately communicate these boundaries. And that goes back to the previous step where accountability, right? And bringing people in to help us adequately maintain our boundaries. Whether it's telling your spouse, hey, at these times, this is my workout time. It doesn't necessarily mean that I don't want to hang out or this, that, and third, but this is where I need to focus on working out. So I need your help in being able to handle the things that I can't tend to in that moment. Hey, at this time for my entrepreneurs, this is where I'm focusing on family. This is where I'm focusing on bonding with my spouse or bonding with my kids. So work has to be put away. And set those hard boundaries. Communicate that with your team or communicate that internally with yourself of where my feet are planted is where my mind needs to be. If we're able to set these boundaries consistently, now we'll notice that we're excelling in fitness, we're excelling in family, we're excelling in our career, and everything is starting to mesh together. And like we said before, we're getting closer to point Z, where we've reached all of these things. Now, these 3 rules, if you start to implement them, I guarantee you will see a significant change, not only in your weight loss goals, but in your life, in your relationships, and how you overall feel about yourself. So you got to start implementing these 3 things. Now, one thing that I know is keeping you from getting to your goals is that phone use. A lot of us, that makes it hard to set boundaries. We need to set boundaries with our phone. We need to set guidelines around our phone. If that is something that you know you struggle with, I want to tell you why phone use is not only killing your weight loss goals, but it's affecting other aspects of your life. So go ahead, check this video out that's popping up. I'll see you over there. Let's go.